Ah, okay, HerroOP. Alright. You type GG in all chat. You didn't type it in all chat rather, but only me and allies. So that's fine in that case. That's in that case fine. But yeah, well, you obviously cannot see that exactly in the game room, so you're just gonna be assuming that it was sent to everybody, as you would be usually expecting. So sorry about that assumption. But yeah, sometimes players do that, unfortunately. It would be definitely good to remember not to go anywhere near it. There we go, second game is gonna be coming up. This time it's going to be home map for the Uncrabbables. They're gonna be choosing a Marsh, the standard one that you'll be expecting. Thor, Odin, Loki, so all three Norse for them. For the opponents, Oranos, Set and Zeus. The set is quite interesting, but it kinda makes sense for Marsh against a lot of Norse, so you're gonna be seeing he's gonna be trying to use a bit of opportunity for some shifting sands. What we definitely should be expecting is some kind of brutal triple, maybe even like up triple. Based on the last game, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was something that the Uncrabbables are preparing, as we are right now watching into Kill You Die. And it's gonna be getting tons of piggies right next to all the deers. So it's gonna be, of course, staying here for the rest of the archaic age, maybe up to even the classical age in there, until he's gonna be having to move somewhere. As HerroOP is gonna be a bit further away. He's gonna be playing the Loki against the Zeus. That's kinda like the best choice for them, as we certainly expecting that right about now. trueloque is going to be coming for probably even Athena Rush. Wouldn't be surprised at all, as apparently we are going to be seeing Kill You Die in the pocket going for fast rams. Interesting, so not any kind of triple. It's in the end for him maybe going to be just basically fast mythic. Well, that's curious. Or let's see how fast it's going to be. It's going to be like 10 minutes or maybe even sub. Definitely curious about it. Thank you very much, Metal, for the host. Hope that people that were watching you are gonna be enjoying at least a bit of Age of Mythology here in the second game here in RTS League's Clan League, as the gold is certainly kind of interesting for Domantas himself. It's quite far away. He's having a secondary one behind his base, obviously, as that's going to be one and the second somewhere on the other side, probably on the Marsh. That's always you are going to be getting 2 extra gold mines, and most of them are going to be also fairly safe because of plenty of wood lines in the front of the base, and of course on top of that even a bit of water channel. That's going to be dividing you and your opponent. So all the way to the top, that's going to be right now great friend aka Samu in the pocket, as on the left side it's going to be BengandColason playing the set. So you're going to be definitely curious if he's going to be wanting really some kind of shifting sense, but nonetheless his gold mine seems to be rather nicely positioned in the middle of 2 towers in there. So I'm thinking that this rush is not going to be exactly happening, but maybe that is going to be just switching straight into Oranos in the pocket. It's going to be curious to see if maybe you're going to be seeing a bit of a classical age fighting from the set. It's going to be resolved and made clear to us a bit later. So Scarab Pendant for better siege damage. That's certainly quite a nice relic to be had for most players. And also the Sphinx for better building hit points, also quite nice. Yeah, so on the left flank that's gonna be right about now with unit recharge time a bit lower. That's kinda alright. For example, especially for piggies it could be helpful. Or maybe for some kind of one killers like Medusas and Mummies. It's not bad. And Cavalry Chariot Archer hit points, Task of the Iron Boar. Certainly pretty great and will be helpful maybe for the Egyptian if he could be getting into the Chariot Archers in there. But otherwise for the horses, could be for the Thor, could be maybe for the Odin, but yeah, well, the Odin, he has already told us that maybe he's gonna be heading for some rams a bit later, so that could be potentially some fast mythic really for him, and therefore not all that many horses for him. Even for example the Jarls, you're gonna be seeing really later what's gonna happen in there. It's gonna be already Temple. He's gonna be trying to block this path on the left side a bit for him, as he doesn't have to be worried about forest fire. Then he can be just hugging the wood line as much as he can. All the way to the top. The temple is so far not exactly coming for HerroOP. He's going to be taking his time in the advance. His teammate on the left side, that's going to be Domantas, is at this point not exactly all that protecting anything here. Seems like that he's playing it a bit passively. He has already wall up on the right flank against his teammate. Not entirely certain if it's on purpose or whatnot. If he's expecting something bad to happen there. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. And maybe he also wants to be protecting his teammate in there, because he has already heard that, well, the fast mythic might be coming. Therefore, he's gonna be also having to protect, for example, the front of his base. This front DC is really rather excellent. So I'm expecting that it's not gonna be all that much of a problem securing it. And I'm thinking that BengandColason should be having all that much of luck with that. Better Archie Ballista, Kiro Ballista, L Western Range, that's really good. That is a really good relic. Shifting sands are definitely becoming maybe a bit more of a reality. You can see he's gathering plenty of gold, a bit of food still. It's a lot of gold at this point, but it seems to be telling us that he should be heading for the second TC somewhere after he's gonna be shifting, and he's already preparing for the shifting sands. You can see already moving in. So where is he gonna be jumping? Where is he gonna be looking? Probably on the gold, I'm expecting. So there we go. There's gonna be division on the gold mines behind them, I'm expecting. Oh no! He's going for the hunters all the way to the bottom. So he's gonna be basically between the tower and the villages. So right now gonna be having a bit of flying in. This one could be actually right now hiding in the tower, I'm thinking. Okay, so 2 villages dead. This one is gonna be right now hiding in the tower. So 2 villages dead, disruption into the economy. So he kinda did what he wanted. Unfortunately, he's gonna be having a bit of a hard time escaping. So it's not gonna be all that easy. It's not really gonna be all that easy for him. And killed it, well, I actually don't know why it's called pocket. Actually don't know, but it's probably gonna be from, maybe even from like sling. Maybe like the leather pouch for the stone in sling is actually called a pocket. I don't know, maybe it is, because it will be making a sense, making a bit of a sense, because otherwise the 3v3 is basically like a sling. You are having the flanks in the front who are gonna be aggressive, and then you are going to be having the one in the pocket who is gonna be usually a bit passive. Not entirely all that aggressive, but yeah, I had no idea. But pretty good question. Maybe one to be looking into the interwebs for the answer to. As Bolt is already in right about now for one of the hersters, so that he's gonna be buying himself a bit more time right about now on the gathering here. Interesting blockage. Interesting blockage by HerroOP, as he's basically trying to prevent the escape of the villages. Or maybe he just wants to be protecting them for a bit later, so they can be killing them later, but who knows. Right about now, the Athena is already coming in, and it's gonna be double, or rather, actually not. It's going to be military academy and archer range in there, as all the way to the bottom, that's gonna be apparently BengandColason still continuing with all of that army, with the pharaoh and with the priest, into the enemy hunt, but unfortunately, the enemy is not on the hunt yet. All the way to the top, there's gonna be a bit of a protection, or not exactly protection, this is actually blue on red, so therefore this is gonna be Samu come in for a bit of extra raiding. I don't think he's gonna be all that successful, as he doesn't have anything there all that much, but second TC is already finished right now for Bang, and therefore he's gonna be having quite a safe gold mine on the left side, and we are gonna be watching him continue with the wall in. Still needs to be continued to the left side, unfortunately there, and the Valkyrie, apparently she has killed the villages somewhere, or have I heard it wrong? Probably heard it wrong. Maybe it was only the arrows into the back of the Valkyrie. I think it might have been it for the time being in there. As all the way to the top right about now. Still, they are gonna be able to escape. So interesting idea by HerroOP. He just wasn't able to place the wall there all that fully. So the villagers will still have a bit of an opportunity how to escape. Even apparently some kind of leg spikes here. That's slightly unfortunate, but hopefully you're gonna be able to get through the game just fine, as the back TC is right now finished for Kiludai, and he does have plenty of Usaks already prepared. Gonna be right now destroying and completely annihilating the army, as 90 seconds are gonna be counting from now to get the new pharaoh for BengandColason. Second TC is gonna be right now made by Domantas as well, so even though they are playing reasonably aggressively, especially right about now HerroOP, otherwise Domantas with Kiludai are not gonna be underestimating anything. He's going to be right now having a bit of a chance to potentially get some economy going before he's gonna be surprised by Bank with the heroic age. No, it's not gonna be really surprise, of course, but maybe he's gonna be a bit faster than could be expected. But in the meantime, it seems like that actually trueloque is going for straight Athena rush. It's not entirely like rush, he went for a bit later advance, so in the olden times it definitely would be rush. Today, with the advances about 4:30 and earlier, it doesn't have to be that quick, but it still can be rather powerful if it's gonna be played properly. And so far he's having 1 and 1, continuing producing units. That's gonna be the nose of the Sphinx right behind. And he is continuing with as much as possible, as apparently this guy is gonna be even killing the piggies. He's actually even killing the piggies with blowing the horn in there. No, right now he's gonna be just slaughtering them straight. No, poor guys. They don't deserve anything like that. Another piggy. He still basically always does a few hits on through TC, and then he's moving on through piggies. They're right now gonna be dying even from the horn. And there's one last life on the left side, but he's not gonna be He's not gonna be killed. He's gonna be surviving in the end. With how many? With 1 hit point. 1 hit point, and right now growing into 200, as it seems that he's already going to be right now pushed back on the left side, losing at least a few units in there. It wasn't really any kind of big engagement yet, but he's already feeling that he just doesn't have the units for this, and therefore he's gonna be having enough, as there was a bit of a push by by Samu on the right flank as well, but they are kind of thinking that since this is not gonna be working for them, and the opponents are about 200 points extra on the score there already, they don't feel like they could be overcoming what is actually coming for them, and UCAs are gonna be right about now taking, well, quite a quick victory 2-0 in the round number 5, as on the left flank there was just some kind of small raid, nothing too much. There really wasn't anything happening all that much there on the minimap as we have seen, and right now Blue, he was trying to help a bit more to the bottom side, but unfortunately more on the right, and I'm kind of thinking that could have still continued, so I'm thinking that actually trueloque didn't have to be resigning that quickly, but he probably felt that since he has gone for that strategy, and he has already seen the opponents getting all the extra TCs and going aggressively into the economy, he just didn't feel like that it's gonna be ending in anything really useful for them, and therefore with this economy already disrupted, and all the piggies destroyed, maybe actually that was the reason, all the killed piggies in there. They basically lost so many of them. You can see already about like 8 pigs dead by the INAR. That's a veritable massacre in there. Almost like a pig plague being sent in onto him. And you know, that's gonna be then a GG. And yet again, not really that much happened in here. Probably a bit more action in the first game overall. But trueloque did what he tried, or thought what he... tried what he thought is going to be working against the opponents, but this time it wasn't exactly the case. You can see him in the Kiludai, still having a few villages in there quite nearby, as he was getting raided by a great friend in there. But the army wasn't really that bad. I'm really thinking there could have been still a bit of fight if they coordinated slightly better. Well, apparently they didn't, and therefore the fight on the left side of course wasn't close either. There would have been still a bit of a chance for BengandColason to be really having quite a nice game still, as he was having 2 spearmen, and he would be having a few more, potentially even some kind of heroic age. Doesn't have to be all that impossible. He was having quite a nice start. Yeah, well, GGs have already been called. So there we go. Gonna be looking into the post game. That's gonna be HerroOP with the highest score for the time being. Domantas also breaching the 1000 in there, at least at the very start. Yes, 2675 wood. That was the most for a great friend, whereas for example BengandColason as an Egyptian just didn't need the wood. He was down to only 100, just didn't need it all that much there. And he was going for the spearmen and not exactly for example slingers, and didn't have to be starting with it as he wasn't advancing into the heroic age, it seems like either. So HerroOP, you can see 13 units killed already, and Slim Albert was getting only 5 so far, so his army was getting destroyed even with the help that in the end with quite nice military count 29 from Samu was already heading in. Of course, not entirely that high stats here from either player. Kind of thinking that on the left really could have been still quite a nice fight between BengandColason. He seemed to be having quite a nice start. Quite a nice start indeed in there, especially against Domantas with the shifting sands killing those 2 villages. Yeah, you can see trueloque losing actually not a small amount of villages in there. He was having about like 26 maybe here, 27 probably, 27, and he dropped to about like 20, so about like 6 villages in there. So that might be, it might be also the reason they actually got caught on a bit of raiding here a bit before on the gold mine. You can see a few dead bodies in there, as we have seen the raiding there a bit before, and on the wood line as well. And since he didn't exactly see the back gold, then he probably also was kind of slightly screwed on that front. And that also explains a bit better why he already decided to resign, because he just didn't see where he could be getting the gold, and he didn't think there could be something that he could be doing with the back one. He would be probably raided there as well. You can see with the second TC BengandColason quite early, but then he lost a few villages in there, or did he? No, that wasn't villages, that was already the animals and the raiding party. Exactly here the drop. But Blue just continuing up. He was having quite a nice kind of start into the game, but HerroOP was already decimating the right flank, and on the left it was kind of equal, just waiting for the heroic ages and the later stages. So Kiludai didn't even get to the ramps. Bit of a disappointment for him, I'm guessing, but he's gonna be having to try it another time. GG. So let's go out into the game right about now. Where do we have the game room though? That's a real question in here. There we are. Let's correct the score for the Uncrapables being at 2-0. And that should be it for today, because I don't think that was another match. That was just basically this one. For today, a bit of a surprise one that wasn't exactly like fully scheduled, but it was possible to happen. So I was just online to make sure that you will be able to stream it for you. It was just 2 short games. But nonetheless, hope that you actually enjoyed the showing of power by Uncrapables. They definitely did show their confidence after even the loss last week of 2-0 against F2. That definitely had to be putting a bit of a dent into their plan for the championship. And we're gonna be seeing, maybe they're gonna be meeting in the playoffs again. And that could be a good old time for some proper revenge. Nonetheless, then it's going to be it for today. You're gonna be having certainly more games over the weekend. So follow us here on the channel for more Clan Wars in HerroOP Mythology. Usually it's played on Sunday, maybe sometimes there's even a Saturday. So just basically follow us here. And on our Twitter and Facebook, it's all/RTS League. For example, YouTube for the past streams as well. It's also /RTS League. And we are also having Discord newly, where you can be discussing the games. So feel free to join us there. You can find the titles or the commands in the title of the stream and potentially all the information and the links in the buttons below. So that's going to be it. I hope that you actually enjoyed at least a bit of a extra HerroOP Mythology here. We're going to be hosting somebody else right now for you to continue. And in the meantime, of course, the community home rts-sanctuary.com. That's the place to be if you are into anything AOM. With the history since 2003, all is there. Recorded games, strategy guides, discussions on all kinds of themes. You can even start new ones and join us there. So feel free to do so, rts-sanctuary.com, and then HerroOP Mythology Heaven for scenarios and all kinds of mods, be it graphics, custom scenarios, or maybe even some civilizations and things like that. It's all available there at HerroOP Mythology Heaven, and there is also Reddit/HerroOP Mythology. And these games will be played on Woobly, the best place for HerroOP Mythology and Age of Empires multiplayer, and we have been using Woobly balance patch 3.0. But if you want to be playing the original game, or even vanilla for example, all is possible. And you'll be glad for any new players to join us and increase the numbers and make it easier for everybody to be enjoying this good old game. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I've been at Blackadder Space. If you're gonna be interested, I'm gonna be right now switching into my channel, but I'm not gonna be streaming HerroOP Mythology that I'm gonna be hosting here for you on the channel. I'm gonna be going for some Heroes of Might and Magic 3. But otherwise, I'm also streaming some AOM, obviously, usually some Wednesdays. And then, when there is something live, some, for example, tournament games from the summer, AOL Destroyers Championship, that is right now going on. But nonetheless, also feel free to visit other streamers that are helping us cast the games, like Chrono JJ, and then, for example, HerroOP has streamed some games, then we have seen some games from Mr. Tusk's Revenge, PT Marcos, Goldline, even I Go Wonder, Tompex has also streamed a few games, Kiludai, his POV, Thomas Shelby. You can find a few links below the streams, below the stream, into the channels of players that have helped us before. So yeah, that's going to be about it. Yet again, thank you for watching and see you later.